Hi everyone, it's Kate. Today I'm talking about Twilight. So I've never seen any of the movies or read any of the books. I thought it wasn't gonna be as bad, but at the same time it was fun. And also I'm not gonna get like super in depth about the plot because I have a feeling almost everyone has watched the movie. I'm still gonna talk about it, but I'm mainly gonna just talk about how I felt about it. It's so funny because the cinematography in this movie, it's like so insanely stunning. Like they have the most like beautiful shots of like forests and like stuff like that. And then the actors come in. So our main character is obviously Bella Swan. She moves in with her dad because her mom is traveling. Her parents are divorced. Her dad Charlie is the real victim in this story. Well, also Bella, because Edward, how long has he been 17? I don't like. So we also meet Jacob. He's not really that important in this movie, so I'm not really gonna talk about him, and also I think everyone knows who he is. Like, I kind of thought that all the love triangle stuff happened in this movie, but it really doesn't. This whole movie is just kind of her figuring out that Edward is a vampire. That's what I get for spoilers, I guess. So Bella goes to the local school, she meets a few friends, blah blah blah, they're nice to her, and they're like at lunch, and then they're like, those are the Cullens, and then it does like a slow-mo intro shot to every single person, and it's so insane how they're supposed to be teenagers, because they're vampires, right? So they were bit when they were teenagers. Like, I don't like that they look so old. It makes the creep factor so much higher. But also the fact that Edward's been 17 for what, 200 years? I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the dates. Oh my god. And then, so Bella walks into biology class. She has it with Edward. There's a fan behind her and it blows. It just like blows her scent towards him and he's like, I imagine she just like shit herself and this wasn't a vampire thing. And she's just like, oops, sorry about that. No, but that's all I could be thinking about is that like she like took the nastiest fart. Because that's like the only way that reaction is justifiable. And then they sit next to each other and he like completely like ignores her. He's like, so like if this happened to me, I genuinely think I would die. Like if in high school, someone like if I thought someone thought my BO was so bad to the point where they could not breathe and he wanted to transfer class after this. It's her first day of school. This would be my last straw. I would run away. So then Bella, being slightly strange, she plans to confront Edward, which I don't get why she wants to do this because he thought you smelled bad. Is that really enough to speak to someone you've never spoken to and like, hey, what's up? But then also, whenever the Cullens drive to school, I don't know which one is standing up, but it's like a Jeep with like or a Humvee sort of. Not a Humvee. Oh my god, that would be insane. And he's standing on the back. It's so funny. I don't know why, but it made me laugh so hard. And then later on in the movie, he does it again. It's like he's at a parade, like waving to the people because he's just like holding on to like the thing and like standing up. It's like, you don't have to do all that. But I don't think that's like safe for Rhodes. I think Charlie needs to arrest all of the Cullens. Oh yeah, he's the chief of the town. I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen the movie, but in case you didn't, her dad is a cop. So then, while this is all happening, there are a few murders that happen and they think it's wild animals. But us as the viewers know it's vampires because it's just a human doing it. And also, it's Twilight. And then Edward comes back to school after a few days and Bella confronts him and it's so weird because they don't know each other. Like, they have never spoken. Like, they literally have not said one word to each other.
You were gone.
I was out of town for a couple of days.
He's like talking about the weather and she's like, you're really talking about the weather right now? Girl. First of all, he's trying to be polite because probably you poo-pooed your pants last time you guys talked. It's so ridiculous. No one, this is not what a conversation looks like. No one, you would never go up to someone who you've never met before and be like, so really, what, you really are gonna talk about that? Why don't we talk about this? And then they're like doing stupid stuff with a microscope and they're like rechecking each other's work and being like, yeah, I guess you're right. So then they're like talking and like for some reason she's like, they get into like a sudden deep conversation where she's like, yeah, my mom, she got remarried and they're moving around and I'm stuck with my dad for a bit. I know it makes my mom happy, so that's why I'm doing it. And he's like, even though you're unhappy? Then she's like, your eyes are brown. Last time I saw them, they were black.
Your eyes were black the last time I saw you, and
It's the fluorescence.
I'm guessing you can either change it or it's like contacts, maybe? If you've been a vampire for so long, you'd be able to control this, even though she's the most, like, she's the thing he wants the most. And also, how would she notice that? He was kind of like this the whole time. How would she notice his eyes? Oh, maybe they were black because they were like his pupils were dilated. I'm so stupid. I just put it together right now. Scratch what I said earlier. School's going fine, blah, 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 blah. She almost gets hit by a car. So it's kind of like Regina George, but in this case, she doesn't get hit by the car because our amazing hero, Edward, comes and like stops the car from hitting her. And then she's like, whoa, how'd you get over here so fast? And he's like, I was right next to you, Bella. And she's like, what? And he's like, it was the adrenaline.
You stopped the van. You pushed it away with your hand.
Well, nobody's gonna believe you.
Before the relationship even starts, just completely lying and gaslighting her and making her feel crazy, which is an awesome way to start a relationship, especially when you're like 200 years older than her. Bella wakes up in the middle of the night and she sees Edward in her room, then she turns on the light and he's gone. Call your father. Get a restraining order. This is so scary. Please leave town. Please leave town. You need to get a stake and put it through Edward's heart. I've never had a vampire stalk me before, but I don't think I would like it. If this is what it entails, I would say, no thank you. And then I would lock my windows and hide in, what don't vampires like? Garlic? I don't know what the rules are for these vampires. I would wear a garlic necklace and I would cover myself in mirror. No, they're not scared of mirrors. They just, that'd be so funny. They're just scared of their lack of reflection, so they can't go near mirrors. And she doesn't even know that he's a vampire. She just is like, he's a little strange. So then the most insane thing happens. So they're talking and he's like, you should stay away from me, Bella. And she's like, you should have let the car hit me. Why are those the two extremes? Like, you could not like someone or like not want to spend time with someone and not want them to die. They're like talking and he's like, we shouldn't be friends. And she's like, oh, but he's like, but I want to be. And then she's like trying to guess what he is because she's like, he knows he's super strong, fast, good hearing. She's like, you're probably a superhero. And he's like, I'm the bad guy. And then she's like, you're just putting that front up so people think you are. Stop it. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This feels like a 14-year-old writing a story for the first time and they don't know how to write like good dialogue. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I know that is so mean, but that's what it feels like. Edward saves Bella from some horrible people and he's like, I was tracking you. I knew that you needed help, but I could read their minds, so. And then he's like, but I just can't read yours. And she's like, what do you mean? Is there something wrong with me? And he's like, I told you I can read minds, and the first thing you ask is if there's something wrong with you. They go to dinner because he's like, let me explain this all to you, and he doesn't eat because he's on a special diet. Animal blood. And then he's like saying how he can't stay away from her and he likes her so much. Bella starts doing research and finds out that he is a vampire. So then they go to the forest together and he's like, what do you think I am? Say it. And she's like, a vampire. And then he's like goes into the sun and he's like sparkly and glittery. This is like the main thing I know about the vampires in Twilight is that they sparkle, and I think it's really cute. She's like, you're so beautiful. And then he's like, I'm a killer, Bella. And she's like, I don't care. And he's like, I've killed people before. And she's like, I don't care. And he's like, I could kill you. And she's like, I don't care. Babe, honey, I know this is your first relationship, but you can find someone who doesn't kill people and does not want to drink your blood. Okay, I promise. There are so many normal people out there who don't want to do those things, and it's not 200 years older than you, please. Maybe it's like 100 years. I just remembered, because I think it was like the early 1900s, like 100 years. Sorry about that. So he's like 120. Oldest man in the world, and you're going for the youngest girl possible. But it's like so weird, because it's like, girl, you've barely known this man. You've talked a handful of times. The times you do, he's been really weird. Sure, he saved your life one time, but at the same time, maybe you should stay away from him. Just a thought. Like, I think it would have been better if she was scared off and then later on they made up because he saved her or something like that. But no, it's like, she's like, I'm fine with that. Really, truly, I don't care that you killed people. He's like, you're like a drug to me, Bella. I want to drink your blood. And she's like, okay, don't do it, but okay. Edward's like, we only drink animal blood. There's another pack of vampires coming into town who are killing humans, whatever. And she's like, okay, I believe you. And then for some reason he introduces her to his family. So then like she meets the whole family, whatever. And it's so funny because they made her food and she's like, oh, thank you so much. And he's like, she already ate. And they all get like, oh goodness, because they don't eat.
She already ate.
It's so awkward. But also, why didn't he tell her that they were making food? And then another weird thing is they have like a ton of like graduation caps like on the wall because it's like they've been through so many different high schools. But it's like, how about we graduate to college? How about we move up a little bit? You are not a 17-year-old, so let's scooch up the people you're around so you're not with minors, okay? Is that a good idea? I think that's a really good idea. How about we do that? So then they all go play baseball. This is that like supersonic black hole scene. I don't think those are the words. Honestly, unironically, I loved this scene. It was like such like, it was the perfect amount of like cool shots, but also it being like very over the top and silly. They all play and then the three vampires who are bad come and they want Bella because Edward is committed to Bella and Edward's in love with Bella. And so they're like, we want to make Edward suffer. So like for some reason he's just like, I'm gonna do it just for fun. Like I'm gonna just kill Bella for fun. So Bella has to run away. And then like she leaves town and then she goes to like this place in Phoenix that she used to go to because she thought that the bad vampire has her mom, but turns out it wasn't her mom. It was just voice recordings of her mom, which I think the audio on a phone would be so bad if it was like on a phone to another phone. So I think you would know, but she was probably stressed out and panicked. So she goes by herself. She is like, where's my mommy? And then he's like, she's not here. I just wanted to kill you. And it's like, if you're hunting for sport, this doesn't really feel fair. It's basically just like whenever you put like a salt lick out and then you kill a deer. It's evil. She's so mean to Charlie whenever she has to leave because she doesn't want him like she wants him to let her go, which is crazy because she's 17 years old. And even if your kid is really awful and mean to you, I wouldn't let my child leave. I would say, you sit down here. And like Edward is behind her, so I'd be like, Edward, you have to get out of my house. I don't know who the fuck you are, but you're freaking out me and my daughter. And then I would keep my daughter there, you know? Like, it's like, I didn't like it. I felt so bad for Charlie.
Like watch baseball on the flat screen? Eat at the diner every night? Steak and cobbler? Dad, that's you, that's not me.
So then the guy, the evil vampire, attacks Bella, but then all the Cullens come and save her because they were nearby. Edward was first because he's the fastest or something. They fight. Quick interruption. Whenever Edward is fighting James, I think that's his name, and he's pushed against the glass and you can see both of them. Is this not like one of the biggest things for vampires is that you can't see them in mirrors? Unless these aren't like silverback, but still, just a thing I noticed when I was editing. Bella gets bit by James, so she has evil vampire blood in her system. I don't know if it's like evil or what, but after they kill the evil vampire, Edward sucks the venom out of her, but has to stop himself before sucking and drinking her blood. I don't know why Carlisle didn't do it, because he turned a lot of the kids, and he's very gentle, and he's like, knows what to do. He's a doctor, he wants to help people. So I don't know why he didn't just suck the blood out of Bella instead of making Edward do it, because they were both right there. I think it's kind of like a being like, you have to be able to stop yourself. But it's like, this is a life-changing, threatening situation. I maybe wouldn't put it in the hands of someone who is talked about being addicted to her blood and not knowing when to stop if he ever got the chance to drink her blood. I wouldn't want my life in the hands of that freak. After she's like healed, like she goes to the hospital, she tells her mom that she wants to stay with her dad in Washington in that rainy, dumb, stupid town. She goes back, they go to prom, it's very sweet, blah, 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 blah. Jacob is like, my dad wants you to break up with Edward. So it's like clear that they're hinting at he has some deeper knowledge about what Edward is. I already know that he's a freaking werewolf, so it wasn't really a shock to me. Bella's like, I want to be a vampire, and Edward's like, nuh-uh, Quinn. So it's like, I don't know why he doesn't want her to be a vampire if he's so in love with her. Like, at the same time, she's 17. I think you should leave her alone, you 102-year-old freak. That's the end of the movie. I didn't like it. Like, I liked it for how bad it was, but like, if we just talk about the plot itself, it was horrible. It's basically just about how this insanely old man manipulates and puts a 17-year-old girl in danger and makes her sort of isolate from her family. I believe Edward is a creep and not a good person, and also someone needs to drive a stake through his heart or burn him. That's it. I really don't have anything else to say. I kind of spread in my thoughts throughout this video. If you want me to watch or talk about the other ones, let me know. I'm probably gonna watch them either way, but if you want me to make a video on it, let me know, because this was very fun. Okay, like, comment, and subscribe, because if you don't, someone's gonna bite you and then you're gonna turn into a vampire, but you're gonna have to be going to high school for the rest of your life after that. Okay, bye everyone.